Hi, everyone, and welcome to our live stream to discuss all things Q4 2023 for business management. I'm super excited to go through and highlight a lot of the awesome innovation that hit the scene the last quarter of 2023. So quickly introduce ourselves. My name is Jen Six. I am a product marketing manager here at Connectwise.
Hi, everyone. My name is Klein Wong. I'm a software training consultant here at Connectwise, mainly specializing in PSA and CPQ. I've been with the company for overall 6 years. I had a 5-year stint in our support department, mostly for what was then called Connectwise Manage and Connectwise Sell and Closal. And then, came back and decided to come back in an education capacity. So really excited to be here to discuss these things with you.
Yeah, isn't it so fun? We're both boomerangs.
Yeah.
And here we come back, so great place to be.
Not bad at all.
So if you're wondering what exactly makes up Connectwise Business Management, it's quite a few different solutions. So just to give you a quick top level view of the solutions we're talking about today, talking about Connectwise PSA, we're talking specifically about some very cool hyper automation that was introduced in Q4. And then we'll talk about Connectwise CPQ, BrightGauge, IT Boost, Smileback, Service Leadership, and WisePay. So we got a stacked agenda. So buckle in.
We got a lot going on.
We do. So we'll kick it off with Connectwise PSA, everyone's favorite PSA. And a lot of cool things did hit in Q4. So we'll talk a lot more about the Connectwise View integration coming up here in the next slide. But just to give you a look at some of the cool other things, custom field tokens became available for emails. So this is a pretty cool deal because now when you are configuring those emails to come out of PSA, whether that's a status notification or a workflow email, you can actually include your custom field token. So those emails are as personalized and customized as they need to be. And we also introduced a Microsoft 365 contact sync reimagined. So that is an opt-in currently. So to pull in user information for Microsoft 365 and Azure, so you don't have to waste your time manually managing contacts. So definitely check out the release notes for that one. We have a blog that will share those things with you to help us everything you need and figure all of these things.
I'm really excited about this one, actually. We have our Connectwise View integration. Obviously, you guys might be familiar with Screen Connect, formerly Connectwise Control, and the ability to have the remote session from a ticket. That's obviously super essential, but this one was a really exciting one for Six and I when we were coming up with this, because the whole point of a lot of these enhancements is to make business a lot easier for you, and we have a big focus on automation, hyper automation, and kind of saving as much time as we can. Connectwise View really kind of takes that to the next step. I mean, you're thinking about saving time traveling on site, saving money in fees and things like that. It pretty much allows technicians to launch a remote session, nothing new there, but we can do it directly from our device. So that way maybe our end users can give us a little bit better idea of what it is that we're looking at, what the problem might be. We can get eyes on it and maybe solve a problem before we have to make a whole trip out there, and reduces time. It's a secure connection, so it's something that we are really happy is kind of keeping up with our security initiative as well. It's a win-win-win. I read right from the script on that one.
We love to win-win-win. It's all we do. But yes, this is such an incredible integration because not only does it give you that bird's eye view of exactly what your customer is seeing, it also helps adhere to those processes you've got. So capturing screenshots as attachments on tickets, capturing your time so it's super easy to manage your time entry. So there's a lot of goodness when it comes to that integration, for sure. Oh man, so excited to talk about hyper automation and all of the amazing things that it will do for you and your business and everyone inside your business. So there's really, when we think of hyper automation here at Connectwise, there's really two elements to that. We've got the Connectwise robotic process automation, or Connectwise RPA, and then coupled with that, Connectwise Sidekick for PSA. So if you're not familiar with these new innovations from the Connectwise team, certainly check out that QR code. That'll take you to our hyper automation website where you can learn more about this. But Robotic process automation is made up of both the RPA bots and workflow. So you'll see with RPA, you're able to eliminate those time-consuming tasks that your team is maybe currently working on, like adding a new user to Microsoft 365, things like that, that you can just leave to the technology. And then we've also got workflow, which we'll talk about more in a second. And then Connectwise Sidekick for PSA is really that digital assistant you will wonder how you ever lived without, because it's going to be within the ticket helping your team resolve issues faster. You can access Connectwise PSA records and other amazing like indicators around finance through Microsoft Teams. And there's even more amazing things with machine learning around customer sentiment scoring and auto triage. There's just so much amazingness that comes along with Connectwise hyperautomation.
Absolutely. As the kids say, I'm pretty hype for hyper automation. I, for one, welcome our new machine overlords because they're making my life a lot easier, and it allows me to just do the more important, more interesting things in my job too. Things are a little more engaging. One thing that I am wicked excited about is Connectwise Sidekick. It's for PSA. It is an ticket assistant kind of AI learning, I guess, bit of software that it's going to automate a lot of different processes for you. It's going to help out your service delivery, your dispatcher, but it's also going to help out, your own internal techs. Maybe you have someone who's new and being trained. Maybe you have someone who's covering for another, for maybe a lower staff department if we have a couple of people out. I'm just thinking back to my own support days and how, you spend a minute here or a minute there coming up with a summary for a ticket that you're going to escalate to a department, and you do that, maybe 20 times a day. I mean, that's time that's being spent and brain power that's being spent just thinking about how to summarize this for somebody else. I mean, that's one of honestly like the easiest things that I think that Sidekick can do, but it goes a little bit deeper, right? So we have a little example here. One of the actions we have here is to just recommend a summary. You have the option to include ticket notes. It depends kind of on where you're going. I love the idea of the AI is going to read the internal notes that I have with my team. And I know this is an escalation kind of ticket, maybe if we're talking about our support, and we're going to have to send this out to get maybe a more detailed look at it. Well, so the AI can take a look at what our notes have been, what we've corresponded with, and what updates and what we've done for troubleshooting. And it'll recommend a summary based on what needs to happen, based on where we are in the process. And that's a really easy one. But I definitely think that, the ability to update the type, the subtype, the priority on a ticket, update users if you have to, recommend a team. So maybe we're not sure who this ticket should go to. Would this be maybe T1 support, or is this maybe like a bug that we have to report? Well, the ticket will help do that for us. And then that saves us time on getting through other tasks that we have to do for our partners.
Yeah, I can't say enough amazing things about the capabilities around Connectwise Sidekick for PSA. Of course, there's so many amazing things that it does for your technicians and your service teams, enabling them to hit their SLA goals faster, provide a better customer experience. But again, it's worth noting that when you do enable Sidekick and you bring that Microsoft Teams piece into it, your entire organization benefits from that. They can quickly ask, hey, Connectwise Sidekick, it's nice to be polite, what's my day look like? It can bring back your entire schedule. You can look at tickets. You can update things about tickets. You can look at sales opportunities, projects, invoices. There's just so much data that now becomes available to you from both the Microsoft Teams desktop app as well as the Microsoft Teams phone app. So it's really easy to stay connected to what you need to be connected to.
I have to say, I just want to point out there, the Teams app is incredibly useful for kind of helping get a base layer of what it is that you're trying to understand or talk about or ask a question to, maybe look up some information on. And then you can really, it saves so much time, like in my personal experience and from what I've read about features maybe I haven't tapped into yet. And Jen pointed out a really good thing, which is, be polite to AI. We don't know where this is going.
Yeah, you never know. But I think it's really cool that you said looking for information, because a nod to our Connectwise education team, you can search the Connectwise University right from your Sidekick for PSA Teams bot and get all the Connectwise knowledge you could ever want. It's amazing.
Shout out to the Connectwise education team, keeping everybody informed and up to date. Mm-hmm. So moving on, we have Connectwise RPA. This is another huge staple in our ongoing hyperautomation crusade. one thing that I wanted to point out about this is the workflow ability. They operate similarly as workflow rules in Connectwise PSA in that they have a similar function of logic. My personal preference about this is that it can carry out a lot more actions here. One thing that my whole team really agreed that we wanted to highlight is an action that we think is incredibly useful, maybe to some of our sales team members, maybe our procurement team members, people who might also use Connectwise CPQ in their quoting process. I did a webinar a couple months back. Opportunities are essential in that process, right? So what if a workflow rule, in Connectwise in the old days, we'd have to have a workflow rule, send us an email, and then tag the right person, and then we're going to go ahead and manually create the items that we need in what was just Connectwise in those days. And that's awesome. That's incredibly useful. But as times are changing, we need something that's going to be able to take on more of those minuscule tasks, and not just tasks, and not just reminders and notifications, and maybe identifying cases that need to be looked at. But I mean, what if this could make an opportunity for you? Which, if you can take a look at our screenshot here, that's actually what this one is an example of what we're doing. In this scenario, the ticket gets updated, and it looks for a particular update for maybe the status, the priority, the type. And it'll detect that an opportunity is needed. So we'll have to set up various statuses that we need prior. And then the workflow, because we've done all this work in setting it up, the workflow now has a huge pool to draw from, and it's going to go ahead and create that opportunity. And the awesome part is that it's going to pre-populate all that information that you have on the ticket that it's creating that from. It's, that's probably saving a lot of time and money for a lot of people just right now. And so I can't wait until it's a little bit more widely known and implemented in a lot of people's systems.
Yeah, and this is one of those things that's only going to continue getting better. So we're excited to give you what we've got now, but stay tuned because a lot more capabilities and integration is coming there. And I think yeah, wow, what a lovely place. I can't imagine. In case you didn't know, we are bringing back a refreshed, a revamped, a super exciting Automation Nation, and we're doing that super soon, February 5th and 6th, and also the same sessions will run on February 8th and 9th if those dates work better for you. But we're super interested to hear from you if you're interested in that event. How would you look at using hyperautomation in your business? Let us know in the comments. But if you didn't know about this or you want to just learn more about what we're bringing to the table, it's going to be very focused on hyperautomation and AI, those elements we just talked about, and really giving you that hands-on experience to dig into those items and really see how it's going to work for your business and get excited about that. Plus, I don't think downtown Tampa is a terrible place to be February 5th through the 9th. So, well, 5th and 6th, 8th and 9th. But we hope to see you there.
It's not bad at all. If you are there, you will definitely see me probably lurking around the kitchen trying to get a little bit of coffee. So if you see me, you recognize me, or if you just have any questions and you have no idea who I am, ask me, ask anybody. We're all really happy to just not stop talking about this stuff. We are actually incredibly excited about this.
Yeah, we really are. We love all the networking and the community. So we hope to see you there, but certainly let us know in the comments if you'll be there, if you're thinking about it.
Yeah,
we'd love to know.
Another one for my CPQ peeps, my people. We have something really cool to announce. It's the Arrow Capital integration for term leasing. So this is pretty cool. It goes back to when you're creating a quote. Obviously, we can push quotes over to PSA. We can populate all of that information onto the opportunity that we create in PSA, and that kind of branches out into everything that you might want to do with your sales, procurement, service processes. It all starts here in the quote. And it's really cool that we can integrate now with Arrow Capital because it's kind of like a catalog. Users can search and select for Arrow products, and they can add them to their quotes. And the cool piece of essential information here is that, if you do any quoting, if you're at any part of the procurement or sales process, prices change all the time. They change from vendor to vendor. Inventory changes and drops at probably only the worst times does inventory drop, and you can't get enough of what you need. And so then you have to make a split order, not the end of the world. But Arrow makes it a little bit easier to keep track of all that stuff. And then you can go ahead and just import the information, the up-to-date pricing and the availability that you need into your quote. And if you look here, it's actually in CPQ in the Prepare Content tab. If you are familiar with this, you'll get a little list of all the import items that you're going into. And then we have 8 term offer options that are available to be imported. Sorry, I have something in my eye, by the way, as I'm trying to just play it off. We have our term offer options that are available. You can tick the box you need and then, go on with the rest of your quoting process. You get your review, you get your approval, and then we publish it. This is a really, really, really interesting addition to an already really powerful quoting tool, I think,
Yeah, definitely. I think the more that we can bring right into Connectwise CPQ, the more time you're going to save, the easier it is for your sales reps to get those quotes out the door. And then really the easier it is for your customer to say yes, because now you're offering them these terms from Arrow. It comes up right on their order porter quote when they're going to sign online. And it's just, I think we could call this another win-win-win.
This is like an 8 times win situation.
Lots of winning. We're not mad about it. And this was released before Q4, but it would be remiss if we didn't remind you that in case you missed it, dark mode is available in Connectwise CPQ. You can turn that on through your account screen. Another big win.
No, we really actually love dark mode. And I mean, from my support days, just to kind of harken back to that, if I had 100 chat sessions in a night, 8 of them were asking when we were going to get dark mode. And so this one, I think, deserves definitely to be mentioned again. Dark mode rules. If you don't have dark mode in as many places as you can, you are doing yourself a disservice. And now one of those places is CPQ.
Save those peepers. All right. Another really noteworthy release item from Q4 is quick sync gauges within Bright Gauge for Connectwise RMM. So when you plug Connectwise RMM into your Bright Gauge instance, as with all integrations, there are predefined data sets and dashboards, and with Connectwise RMM, that is no exception. And what you'll find on that dashboard is quick sync gauges giving you critical data points so that you can take action on these priority issues even faster than ever. So what you'll see here is we have device availability as part of that quick sync. So that is giving you near real-time data about server availability, what's online, offline, and also desktop availability. So this is also pre-Q4, but we also released quick sync gauges for Cloud Connectwise PSA. So if you weren't aware and you have both of these solutions, you also have quick sync for priority tickets, things that haven't been assigned out, things of that nature. So check those out. And we've got a QR code here to point you to our Bright Gauge Partner Success webinars. If you haven't attended those or watched any of those, I strongly encourage you to check those out. They're so valuable. And the Partner Success team over there for Bright Gauge brings in partners and they share best practices. And there's just so much awesomeness to bring in from that team and from the community.
Absolutely. And just to take a second here, I'm seeing the chat. I'm really excited. I'm really happy that I'm seeing so much excitement in the chat too. Gary, Adam, absolutely. If you guys are in Tampa, I will be in the office all week. Those weeks, definitely. I want to meet with people. I want to touch base. I've been doing I've done a few webinars, and it really excites me when we get the engagement that we do from our partners. I think we are on. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Sorry, had a little bit of a glitch there.
All good. Welcome back.
Thank you. So we are taking a look at IT Boost now. Definitely one that I think merits mention in this conversation. We have a one-click onboarding feature for Connectwise PSA partners, and just keeping in line with saving time, kind of not only training your techs on what to do, but if we can train the system on what to do, the software and on what to do, and save ourselves time and work and brain power. I think it's something that you're going to see a lot of dividends on as the year goes on, as maybe the quarter ends. You're going to be looking back on these metrics. Maybe you pull a Bright Gauge report and you're realizing how much time you've saved or how much materials you've saved just from not having to focus on little tasks. And I mean, onboarding is not a little task, right? It's not something small, but with the option to automatically create a new client account and set up everything from the configurations to the predefined settings to the project settings. I think that that's something that saves an immense amount of time. So, I mean, you can quickly get up and running with IT Boost, and you enable this through Connectwise PSA, of course, my favorite. And yeah, I mean, it sets up the necessary templates, as you guys can see on the screen, and configurations. This is all based on predefined settings. So it kind of goes back to our concept of the more you spend on the front end, just setting yourself up for success, setting your system up for success, the more you're going to reap rewards on the back end.
Yeah, and I know we're doing a Q4 recap, but I did QR code here where you can go and check out some of the other new IT Boost features from 2023. IT Boost had a big year in 2023. So if you wanted to reconsider it, maybe if you'd looked at it in the past, there have been so many new features added. So absolutely check out that QR code. You can see some of those top features on that page. But yeah, you can start your trial right from Connectwise PSA and just hit the ground running.
Gen 6 dumped out a bag of QR codes when we were getting ready for this and said, we're putting all of these in. And I said, all right, yes. Okay.
I love a good QR code.
Smileback. Oh.
Smileback. Man, if you're not tracking CSAT and NPS, there's just a wealth of information about your customers that you're not necessarily getting and using to either optimize your customer experience or improve it. So that's just a little bit of Connectwise Smileback, but some new things that were added, Connectwise SSO login. So now you can use Connectwise SSO to access Smileback, making it easier for you to access all your Connectwise solutions and make it that secure, seamless login. We also introduced Smileback CSAT for Screen Connect. So as you are ending those Screen Connect remote sessions, you will see a pop-up when you have this enabled to just ask your customer right then. You don't have to wait until that ticket is closed to see how they're feeling about you. Amazing.
Amazing. It certainly makes me smile. I don't know about you, Jen.
Oh, yes. And I love to smile. It's like my favorite thing to do. But we also introduced new actions for project surveys. So if you didn't know, project surveys can now be sent from Connectwise PSA using Smileback. And with that, we have added new actions for those project surveys, including the ability to create a service ticket or create a project ticket based on the thresholds or criteria that you configure. So when you do that, it makes it really easy for feedback to be addressed. So if you know you're sending something from a project and the project manager should be the one to reach out and make that okay, we can have it create that project ticket right within the same project. Or if it does need to route elsewhere, it can be turned into a service ticket. So there is lots of cool stuff you can do to make sure that is getting addressed and that you're in the know of how your customer is feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's like one of the more important things regarding, not only building a rapport with your customer, but understanding what changes you need to make in a business too, and what changes you might need to make to your software to kind of serve those business needs. And, the end goal is customer service, customer support, providing a service or a product and making sure that it works well. And, that's something that we obsess about at Connectwise, obviously. And obviously we want to give you guys the tools to do that yourselves.
Yeah, and I see a question here from Tony. I have good news. We do have an update on the new project module coming up here in just a couple slides.
Nice.
Super excited to share that. I'm like waiting for that last slide.
Great minds think alike. I like that.
Yeah. We have so many great things to talk about, and I'm just so excited about all of them.
We're going to let you go home without a project module update? I got you.
No, never. Service leadership had some really cool stuff in Q4 too. So your service leadership index financial benchmarking got reimagined, a brand new, fresh, modern interface that provides online views of all those dashboards and reports. And I think most notably, it really simplifies the way that you're entering your data for the benchmarking. So it's super easy now. You can see it really quickly and really easily. So check that out. And then we also released our 2023 annual IT solution provider compensation or remuneration report. So if you are looking to understand what's happening in the world of TSPs and how they're paying their different common roles, this report is for you. And you can absolutely use another QR code to download the executive executive summary of said report before you purchase it. So you can get a lot of great details right from that.
I was waiting secretly to see if she was going to slip up on remuneration because we both did multiple times.
We've been practicing since we chatted.
Yeah.
Thank you. It just rolls off the tongue now.
Yeah.
And lastly, WisePay. If you like getting paid and you like a consistent cash flow, WisePay is certainly the solution for you. With WisePay for PSA, it is accounting package agnostic, so that's pretty exciting. Really, anyone can take advantage of the payment consistency that WisePay for PSA provides. But this new enhancement is especially exciting because if you are both a Connectwise CPQ and Connectwise PSA partner, when you are accepting those payments through Connectwise CPQ on that online quote, now with this, what you'll find is that payment comes through and a down payment automatically gets created within Connectwise PSA. So there's no prepayment floating around that you're confused, where do I apply that? It automatically creates it for that customer in a status that makes it really easy for you to choose the correct apply to. So now reconciling and ensuring your payment flow is easier than ever. So we're so very excited about that particular enhancement.
I know that's been a popular request for a while too. Definitely back when I was in support as well. So I think that's a really good one to have.
Yeah, certainly check that one out. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, because we're already 17 days into Q1, I figured let's give you a little bit of information about what we've done so far in Q1, what to really be on the lookout, because there is so much more than what I've included on this screen. I just chose a few highlights, but we do have, you'll be shocked, another QR code to get you to the roadmap to see everything else that's planned. But regarding project management, we do have that reimagined project management available for an opt-in for our North American cloud partners, with other regions coming super soon. But what you'll find with that reimagined project management, if you were at IT Nation Connect, you may have seen this in the keynote, or if you've joined any of the innovation webinars that we have, you've probably seen some of this very exciting new UI and new Kanban board that is available for you, North American Cloud Connectwise PSA partners, to opt in today. So we do have university documentation that we're sharing that you can use to go ahead and get that enabled. So we're so excited about that. And hopefully, Tony, that is good news for you.
Yeah.
We'll be expanding to other regions very soon. But other things for Connectwise PSA reimagination coming in Q1, reimagined procurement is going to be hitting the scene as an opt-in very soon as well. So change orders, reimagined procurement screens, all the goodness will be available for you very soon.
Of course. And this is a QR code. I know we've thrown a lot of QR codes at you guys. This is a really actually useful QR code to just kind of keep tagged up in your bookmarks as well. Keep the roadmap tagged, because
they're all useful.
They're all useful. No, they're all useful. This is a good one. This is a good one to continually check back on.
Yes.
That's why you want it in the bookmark bar.
Absolutely. And within that blog that we're sharing, you'll have links to all this too, if you didn't have your phone to QR code it.
We have our Connectwise CPQ. We have our unified product search, of course. It's just a combined search, and it's going to simplify that whole process of finding what you need, adding it to your quotes. I've definitely seen a few different catalogs in one instance, and it gets a little bit scary when you're not sure which one has what you need.
Yes, agreed. So this makes it just a lot easier for you. And guided selling, Calvin, I saw your question pop up around unified product search and our guided selling. These are both available in 2024.1 CPQ as opt-in. So talked about unified product search. Guided selling is really exactly what it sounds like. The ability to set up templatized ways of creating quotes to ask the right questions, make sure the right things are on it. So if you are a CPQ partner, you can opt into that today and start checking that out. So we're very excited about that. And then we have some other things. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just agreeing with everything you said. No, we like customization. We like being able to customize quotes depending on who we're selling to, right? We're sales.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And how important it is not only for your team to be efficient, but for your customer experience. We want those beautiful quotes to not only be beautiful, but accurate. And this is going to help you achieve both of those things really quickly.
Yeah.
And for BrightGauge, we have a couple things entering early access, historical data. So we're starting with the time entry data set, giving the ability to report back up to 395 days in the past. So we're starting there. We're going to continue forward on that march to make it available across all the data sets. So stick with us. We are making progress there. We also have proactive notifications entering early access as well. So, you know, it's awesome to have dashboards that are giving you all that detail, but with proactive notifications, we'll be able to set up Teams notification pushes and emails to make sure that when those critical items are appearing, you know about it right away.
Absolutely. I know it's we're not exactly doing a how-to webinar or anything, and we are kind of just excited and wanting to share our new toy with our friends, so to speak. But I mean, when we talk about like hyper automation, we talk about being proactive and saving time. There is kind of a theme to all of this. I'm sure it's not hard to pick up on. You want, when you receive notifications, if you can customize if you can configure what it is that you're trying to say with those notifications and kind of get that out to your team, I think it's just another awesome tool to have,
Yeah, it's all about saving time with automation and reducing costs and integrating and staying centralized. So definitely common themes all around. But I have a whole slide of QR codes. So
you actually, yeah.
I know it's a little bit overkill, but there's just so many awesome places to get information and collaborate with Connectwise product experts and Connectwise community members. So a lot of these are probably pretty self-explanatory to get you to all these items. But the one that I really, really want to harp on is the virtual community. So if you are a Connectwise partner and you have not signed up for the virtual community yet, I strongly, strongly encourage you to do so. There's so many different conversations happening in there, not only with the Connectwise team, but with your peers. So there's a lot of learning to be done, and a lot of great conversations to be had as well. So
absolutely. If I can point out one as well, the innovation webinars. I love giving webinars with my colleagues and kind of talking and getting to engage with our partners, kind of getting to learn a little bit more about what it is that you guys are looking for, and then tailoring what it is that we want to teach and have these webinars, these user groups, have these kind of like engagements on. And so that's definitely something that I would hope to see more people at, and I want to hear more from you guys. We want to know what it is that you want to see. And I mean, with the virtual community, that will give you as much as you put into it. There's a lot going on there. And I think if you have a little bit of time, definitely check that out if you have not already. Also, Jean-Marc, we did see your comment. Incredibly kind words. Thank you very much. Connectwise loves you.
And another thing, sorry to go back to the virtual community, but the early access programs, I know I mentioned that a couple times. That's where we kind of launch those programs. So if you're interested in being a part of an early access, check out the business management community within the virtual community, and you do a little search in there. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. So we hope to see you there.
Perfect.
We joked about this yesterday. I don't know if the 17th is too late into the new year to wish a happy new year. I've heard debates, but I'm going to do it. I'm standing my ground. We all wish you a super happy new year. We hope that 2024 is everything you hope it was going to be, and we are excited to partner with you throughout and help you crush those goals.
Absolutely. I think if it's in the month of January, you can say Happy New Year.
Okay, so 17th we're in. So Happy New Year, and thank you so much for joining us today. We hope to see you at Automation Nation.
Absolutely. Have a nice day.